No problem. Okay, I'm writing my paper on sports issues such as sports medicine, performance enhancing drugs, and how they affect athletes and etc. Let's see. The first thing I would honestly do is go to Google and type in some type of keyword. For example, let's see, how steroids give athletes an unfair advantage. Okay, so it took me to procon.org, so it's pretty much, it looks like just has pro and con on each side, and then someone writes how they feel, if they're pro or for against it, and then it's their credentials are at the bottom of this. If I had to use this as a source, I probably would say it's credible, because looking at a lot of the people who make their comments, it's a lot of people with medical degrees and PhDs. So I think these people have some type of authority in, I guess, the medical, field, so they know what they're talking about. So I'd probably use this as one of my sources. Then I'd probably go back to Google and look for my next source I would click on. I'm not going to click on anything like debate.org or anything that looks or sounds like some type of blog, just because I know it's not credible. So let's see. So the next one, this one is scu.edu. So it's an edu website. Just because it's edu, it doesn't necessarily mean it's always accurate. It just happens to be on their page, to my understanding. So I would read through this. So one of the things that I'm looking for on this website is to figure out if it's credible or not. Like, for example, this article was written on the Santa Clara University EDU page under their focus area. It's written by Michael Dillingham. So the next thing I would do to decide if I'm going to use the source or not is I would actually go back to Google, and I'm going to use Michael. I'm going to put Michael Dillingham. And then I'm going to put Santa Clara University. And hopefully it brings up maybe his page and tells me who he is. So let's see what we found. Okay, let's see. So I found a guy named Michael F. Dillingham. He's a doctor. He is in California, and his specialty is sports medicine. But I'm not sure if this one's him, because there's multiple Michael Dillinghams that live in California that actually came up when I put it in Google. So let's see. Let's see, I'm going to go back. Okay, well, since I can't find much about this author and confirm that it's him, and this article, it was also written in 2004 anyway, so it's extremely outdated. So honestly, I probably wouldn't even use it. So I'm gonna go back to Google and go to my next one. Let's see what we got. Hmm. See, this one is law.marquette.edu. Okay, now see, this one is a faculty blog. I don't think blogs are a good place to get your information from. Not that the people who talk on blogs don't know what they're doing or what they're talking about. It's just, from what I was just taught in high school, that a blog is not a reliable source and it should be avoided at all costs. So I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to go back out. Let's see, hawknews.org. Let's see, performance enhancing drugs are a game changer. This article was written in 2013. It is actually another blog that was actually created by a student. It looks like for maybe some type of project. Yeah, it's definitely a blog, so I'm not going to use this one either. So I'm clicking out. Okay, so it seems like I'm running out of searches for my initial search topic, how do steroids give athletes an unfair advantage. So I'm just going to, I guess, mix it up a little bit. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So let's see. Should steroids be legal in professional sports? Let's see what that gets me. Okay, so here we go. We got Forbes.com. This article was written in, let's see, August 2012. Let's see. So it was written by a member of the Forbes staff. Now, even though there might be some good stuff in this article, I probably would not use it as a reliable source because I don't know who Chris Smith is. He's just another writer on the Forbes staff. He's giving kind of like his opinion on if he thinks steroids should be legal or not in the industry. And I mean, he's no doctor, so you have no idea. I'm not saying his opinion is not valid, but he has no type of medical knowledge no type of medical knowledge to even give his opinion on if steroids give athletes an unfair advantage. So I would not use him at all. People that I'm looking for who are writing these articles, what I would deem a reliable source are probably going to be, MDs, PhDs, some type of advanced degree, just because it just gives them more, I guess, credibility. So let's see. All right, so Google, the normal Google is starting to get repetitive in everything that I've clicked on with my first search is in my second search. I'm gonna go back to the normal Google. Let's see, google.com. I'm going to click on the little 6 boxes up here. I'm going to click more, even more. Let's see, we're looking for Google Scholar. Here we go. Scholarly paper. So now this is going to take me to the Google Scholar web page where it's going to, I guess, give me some better articles so that we're going to see steroids and professional sports. All right, let's see what we got. Actually, I take back what I just said about the Forbes guy, Chris Smith. He's actually, when I put it in Google, he came up, but then when I went to Google Scholar, he also came up, the same exact article entitled "Why Is It Time to Legalize Steroids in the Professional Sports" by Chris Smith's Forbes staff. So maybe this was a good article to use. Okay, so now that I found it in Google Scholar, I would think it would be a credible source to use. So I would read through it, I would pick what I want to use in my paper, and then I would cite it. Cool. So now that I'm figured that out, I'm going to go back to Google Scholar. Let's see what's next. All right, well, here, this one is, let's see. Now that's, yeah, see, this one's a book. I'm not going to sit here and read through a book. It's like 100 pages long. So let's see. On the first page, I'm starting to run out of ideas. So let's go to the next page for Google Scholar. All right, so one of the things that I'm looking for when I'm determining if I'm going to click on an article is in the search bar, I put steroids in professional sports. And when I'm looking at the title of these articles, it comes up blue, but some of them come up as bold and blue. And if there's not a lot of bold and blue, I'm not going to click on it because therefore the keywords that I'm looking for aren't there. So now I'm going to try to redo my keyword search in Google Scholar. So now we'll go and say, we're going to, instead of saying steroids, we're going to say performance enhancing drugs, and we'll say side effects to see if they give you an unfair advantage. Okay, so this one is entitled Performance Enhancing Drugs, Doping Effect, a Case Report, Sudden Death. So let's see, I would read through this. It's actually, let's see, let's click out of that. So I have the abstract here. Okay, see, now with this one, in order to even read the entire article, other than the abstract, I have to pay for it. So I'm not going to do that either because it's $40. So I would honestly click out of that and move on. Okay, so the next one is it's actually it's like a little what do you call it? An experiment that was done. It's the article's entitled "Anabolic Androgenic Steroids: A Survey of 500 Users," and it pretty much is like an explanation of what they did. They gave 500 users, ranging from bodybuilders to normal non-athletes. They gave them steroids for a specified amount of time. And let's see. And they surveyed people who actually took steroids or have taken steroids, and nearly 4 out of 5 people who are non-athletes, they said they use these drugs for cosmetic reasons. So this just proves that people use performance-enhancing drugs just to look better. So I would just read through this and awesome.
15 minutes. Awesome. I'll stop the recording and save it as the number.